Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, Derek got a fun and exciting video for you guys today, and one that I'm particularly excited to talk about. That is because as of about 18 hours ago, at least when I record this voiceover, not sure when I'm going to air it, SNK has announced that Art of Fighting 3 is coming back to modern platforms as Art of Fighting 3R. And even though this game was never my favorite back in the day, it is a ton of fun, and the improvements and additions they have planned for it might make this a lot better than I actually think it is on Neo Geo. And even though we don't have confirmation, we'll talk about the fact that this could definitely come over to something like the Neo Geo AES Plus on a cartridge with some improvements as well. But before we get too far involved, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And honestly, this is just another part of SNK's absolute march to relevance in 2026, just like they were back in 1996. Suddenly everything Neo Geo old is new again, and the fact that we have the Neo Geo AES Plus console coming out in November with re-released and reprinted Neo Geo AES games was not on my 2026 bingo card, but damn it, I am happy about it. And if you've never played Art of Fighting 3 before, obviously it is a fun and competent fighting game from SNK, one of the best developers to ever play around in the genre, but it really is the animations in this title that were absolutely mind-blowing back in the day. This was every bit as good and honestly, in my opinion, better than anything Capcom ever did with the Street Fighter franchise all the way up through Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I'm sure I'll hear some comments about that down below, but for me personally, this showed that the actual sprite developers and artists and animators that were working back there in the 90s were at the absolute top of the game when it came to fighting games, and now that we're getting R, it's going to be even better. So I'm going to go over the additions in just a moment, show you guys SNK's trailer, and talk about what I would love to see for this game moving forward. And honestly, getting 2 new characters in the roster is going to be a big deal, because all of this animation, all the work they put into it, kept the roster a little bit thin on the AES version of the game, and maybe that's why I don't love it as much as some of SNK's other efforts from back in the 90s and 2000s. So going through the trailer here, honestly not a very good trailer in my opinion. SNK could use a different editor to kind of amp up the excitement. This is coming back in 2026, so we're going to be getting stuff like rollback netcode, we're going to be getting balanced editions, and we're going to be getting that 1 but 2 new characters, something that the game sorely needs, because again, the roster of the original is definitely anemic compared to stuff that you would see in King of Fighters, Samurai Showdown, and even something like Garo Mark of the Wolves, which was a pivot for them, but they still managed to include a decent amount of characters. But King from Art of Fighting and King of Fighters is coming back, as is Yuri, so we're going to be getting 2 new characters in the game, and you got some footage of them there. I hope that the overall animation quality matches what Art of Fighting 3 is known for, but in a previous video I did talk about the fact that SNK was hiring sprite developers for new games, so we're not sure if that's going to be for the AES Plus or for stuff like this, but it definitely is showing a return to form for the traditional 2D sprite animation and development for Neo Geo games, whether they're on modern hardware or whether they're on actual Neo Geo cartridges. And honestly, outside of the rollback netcode, adding 2 new characters in and the balance additions could be done on a Neo Geo AES cartridge. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, I'm just saying it's possible, because we've seen with Neo Turf Masters, the Scotland course is coming over to the Neo Geo AES cart, and that was something that was a Neo Geo CD exclusive, but now on the most recent version of that we'll be playing in November, we're going to be getting extra additional content. And because this is of course going to be based on the Neo Geo AES and MVS code, Art of Fighting 3R that is, it is something that could be done on the AES Plus. And honestly, I want to live in a future where I can get a copy of Art of Fighting 3R on Neo Geo AES and have everything that the new port is going to be bringing us outside of the rollback netcode, because we know, at least we're 99.999% sure, that the Neo Geo AES Plus is never going to be able to be hooked up to the internet. But even if that doesn't happen, even if we don't get a new AES cart with these improvements, the fact that we're going to be getting a new build of Art of Fighting 3 in 2026 is good enough for me, and I'm pretty sure it's good enough for every single Neo Geo fighting game fan out there, because Art of Fighting 3 is a special game just because it shows the absolute artistry that could be done in 2D back when SNK was thriving, and honestly in 2026 they seem to be thriving again. But let's do a soundtrack sample so you can hear the overall music in this game, because it is very good even by SNK standards, but I'll come back, talk more about the improvements and new characters, let you know what's going on. And yes, I used the infinite energy cheat there because that's because the footage was something I was comparing the Mr. FPGA core to when it came to other Neo Geo hardware. But you'll see here, Art of Fighting 3 Art is on its way as the next Neo Geo Premium Selection title, and that Premium Selection category has been really fun because the rollback netcode alone is worth its weight in gold. And that's because even though it's fun to play fighting games with your friends in the comfort on your own couch, a lot of times they just can't come over. In my life, I have one friend that plays video games whatsoever, and he's not going anywhere near a 2D fighting game. So for me, if I can't play it online, I have to play against the CPU only. And of course, outside of Art of Fighting 3R getting rollback netcode, it's not like I could play any of these other Neo Geo games online unless they got ports like this, so that definitely makes a huge difference. And again, we're getting 2 new characters, and that is something that the game sorely needs, because for replayability, for competitive fighting scenes out there, having new characters and new balance will definitely mix things up. And King, definitely a fun character to bring in as well, one that I use maybe 50% of the time in my roster of 3 when I'm playing King of Fighters games, and that's the footage you're seeing here. And it's really fun to be getting these new characters the same way we're getting Scotland on the AES Plus cartridge, and that's why I really think that there is an outside straight chance that something like this could actually be reproduced as an AES Plus cart, because don't forget, Neo Geo and SNK own the rights to this outright. And you're also getting Yuri as well, but I didn't really have any archive footage of her in any gameplay as far as Neo Geo captures are concerned. And this is what I want to see more of SNK do in 2026 and beyond. Give us more AES Plus carts, give us more of these premium selection games re-released with all of this great netcode, because their netcode honestly has been relatively good recently, and it's just something I want to see more of all the time. I grew up loving Neo Geo and SNK, I still love them to this day for what they do, and no, you don't need to leave the comment down below as to who currently owns them. We all know that. It shows up on every single video. It's just what it is. If you don't like it, that's totally cool. If you don't mind, that's cool with me as well. I let you guys decide, but you don't need to remind me of the current ownership. I am well aware. But this is just keeping the Neo Geo dream alive in a year where suddenly Neo Geo is absolutely blowing up again, and I want to see the AES Plus do a great job in the market. I want to see these titles sell well too. That way SNK realizes that there's money to be made, and they will bring us new versions of these games, because I really feel like there is a chance that we might see something like The Last Blade 3, or maybe even a sequel to Garo Mark of the Wolves in 2D on the AES Plus that could also be sold online with rollback netcode. Because think about it that way, if they make more of these projects that could run on AES and they put them on stuff like Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X as well, and they have 3 different revenue streams, because they could make and license AES carts, and that way they'd make money, they'd realize it was worth it, and fans of these games would win basically every single way. And I love that there is a pelican in the game talking for people. But one more soundtrack sample just so you get an idea of how good the music in this game truly is. I'll be right back with just a little bit more Art of Fighting 3 fun. Honestly, just super fun music. Now, while Art of Fighting 3 might not be in the upper echelon of SNK fighting games, where I'd put stuff like Samurai Shodown 2, both Last Blade games, Garo Mark of the Wolves, King of Fighters 98, and things like that, it is one tier below, and that still is an outstanding place to be, because for a company that made some of the best fighting games of all time, even their B tier stuff is better than most people's A tier stuff any day of the week and twice on Sunday, as I like to say. And with balanced updates, with new characters, with rollback netcode, Art of Fighting 3 is definitely going to be living a new life, and we're all going to be luckier for that having happened. And like I said, I have no confirmation whatsoever that an AES Plus cartridge is ever going to show up for this one, but I have my suspicions that this might be something that SNK does moving forward. Fix up some games, readjust them, add in a few components, put them online on modern platforms, on online stores, and if they can get it running on Neo Geo, they'll be able to make a cartridge with play on for the Neo Geo AES Plus. I hope I'm right. I anticipate I might be wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. But you can leave a comment down below and you tell me, are you going to pick up something like Art of Fighting 3R when it comes out or not? For me, it's a day one purchase. Can't wait to play online and get some more matches in. But short of that, we are done. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would be curious to hear what you guys think about this news. But short of that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.